These fins changed my surfing forever, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've tested these fins from 2 foot to 80 feet, and they blew my mind. It's crazy to think that surf fins have largely been the same for the past 43 years, but that's all about to change. One of the most significant contributions to the shortboard revolution was the invention of the thruster by Simon Anderson in October of 1980. Since then, it's been a staple fin cluster that shortboards have used forever. As far as when the quad was introduced, many credit Brazilian surfer Ricardo Bacau for its invention. The idea behind the quad fin is to reduce drag that's created from the center fin on the board and give you a lot more drive and speed. The problem with quads is they tend to make the board ride a lot flatter on the water, and they don't quite produce the same amount of thrust as a 3 fin. That is no longer the case. Now, what makes these fins different than all other quads? The secret is having added surface area of the larger rear fins, the literal opposite of a traditional quad fin setup. And what makes the whole thing work is the rear profile that compresses and funnels the water molecules, forcing it off the tail like a jet. In windsurfing, the quad fin had 2 objectives, speed and control. A bigger back fin for stability, a smaller front fin for maneuverability. The turbulence of the front fins don't disturb the back fins like a traditional quad would do. Between the Maui Fin Company and Quattro, they basically revolutionized the sport of windsurfing with this concept. It was about 10 years ago I thought to myself, if this works so good for windsurfing, why wouldn't it work great for surfing too? Initially, MFC and I set out on a quest to revolutionize the big wave fin, to create something that will allow me to do massive turns and go as fast as possible down the biggest waves in the world. And along the way, we discovered in smaller waves, this fin concept actually really works. The amount of thrust that is produced from this fin setup, having that compression between the 2 rear fins and the stability of the 2 fronts and the lack of drag, all of a sudden we were onto something that we didn't even know existed. They have all this thrust, but there's this crazy stability from having an extra fin. And I think by having the back fins bigger, it helps in the transition of the turns, and I feel like I'm not having as many mistakes. My theory on this is you have this big open space when you have a traditional thruster, whereas with the quads, you really get the stability because there's less of a void between the fins. It was after talking with John Florence about some of his near makes at Big Himalayas that I suggested he tried some of these fins. To see him using these fins the past winter was super validating. Just the speed and control and the confidence he had in more critical conditions got me motivated to work on version 2.0. V2 is gonna be ready soon, so stay tuned.